Tom Lee says this is exactly what it looks like when the market's about to bottom. So let's watch this together. I'm a professional investor competing in the U.S. Investing Championship. And if the market's about to bottom, I need to know. Let's do this thing.
Be back. Your thoughts as you look at these markets. Been real interesting price action over the last couple of days. Thought our reporters set the table very well on the issues at hand that investors need to keep their eyes on. What about yours?
Yeah, I think the headlines have been scary. No one wants to see the U.S. in a conflict, but I think it's been spot on to note that markets have been taking this much better than expected. I don't think anyone can say we're bottomed yet, but this is what looks like the makings of a bottom, right? That you get bad news and the markets are taking it in stride. And more importantly, I think we've had a position reset. And so...
Okay, let's talk about that. If the market is going up on bad news, that's actually a super bullish sign. I can actually agree with that. Now, this little area down here, I was joking around the other day saying that I'm sure that some YouTuber drew a line right here and said, this is the exact bottom because I'm going to tell it so. Let's actually break down what we see, right? We see 4 green candles in a row. Very interesting. I was talking to Joe yesterday and I said, how interesting would it be if we crashed and it was green candles all the way down? The green candle crashed. Now, why do these look green? So the opening price is the bottom. The closing price is the top on green candles. So during the session, it did what it did, but it closed above the price that it opened at. A red candle, it opens here at the top, does what it does during the session, and closes below the opening price in the session. So you absolutely can have a big, scary, nasty downtrend and have green candles literally the entire way down because it gaps down and then closes up higher than that gap early on in the day. So yeah, it could totally happen. But let's also break down a little bit deeper, right? I see this big old wick right here. This big old wick. Chris is not a candle guy, but there are some telltale signs that everybody needs to know about. Number one, see how this big wick happened and then it went back up and then it actually closed green on the day? I would actually consider that a very, very bullish candle. Reason being is that sellers came through, right? It opened down, it gapped down. Sellers came through and pushed hard to sell all day long, but they were met with lots of buyers who actually pushed the price away from this scary point down here all the way back up. Hey, Don was wondering that too. Very cool. Very cool. Hey, do me a favor. If you're watching this on the replay, be like Charlemagne. Engage the like button and hit the hype button. The hype button, honest to goodness, does make a difference. We have found, and the way you access it is by clicking like and hype. I have to take off Charlemagne's thing. There you go. Like and hype. Like and hype. Hit thrust that like button, and while you're at it, like and hype. Okay, let's keep going. Let me turn off the hype button there. Okay. So back to this. That is a very bullish candle. Absolutely very bullish candle. Now, coming back up here, we see the 10 is still under the 20. Okay, so it's still in a bearish cross right here, but price, depending on where we end today, could be above the 50, which would take this from a bearish trend to a neutral trend. Now, inside of OVTLYR, right, it makes it really, really simple because it actually overlays right on the chart for you if it's a bullish or bearish trend. What you'll notice here in the last several weeks, it's been fighting back and forth. The market doesn't want to give up. It doesn't want to give up. Are there factors holding this up? Maybe, possibly, potentially. I don't know. You don't know. It's just speculation. So rather than trying to figure out why the market's holding up, we just look at it objectively and say, you know what? Holding up. It's doing pretty well. Now, we do have some other areas of concern. Up ahead is a huge, very strong order block right here. Order blocks are areas of overhead resistance. Now, this one is how old today? This one is 51 days old. Every time the market has come up into this area right here where there are trapped buyers wanting to get out, it's being sold off. Could that happen again the next time it comes up here? It's possible. Nobody knows the future except for Tom Lee, but I don't know. So keep your risk in check. For me, I'm going to continue to hold cash. Because that's my trading plan. Once we crest over this though, 696.09, it's game on. It's game on. But until that point, I don't know where it's going to go. And it's been bouncing sideways since October. The price today is the exact same price it was on October 27th. This is a very, very frustrating market for a lot of people. So you need to have this built into your trading plan. Do you have a frustrating scenario built in your trading plan? I do. It's called Plan Sit in Cash and Don't F Up. All right. So link down below is my exact trading plan, and you can have it 100% for free. You click it, you got it. It's just that easy. Let's keep going.
On the other side of this, I think is going to be a lot of opportunity.
What would give you the confidence to say, you know what, that's a sign of a bottom? What do you need to see?
Well, some things like if we go back to April, a simple thing would be the VIX making a spike to over 40.
I just noticed the audio is a little bit out of sync. You can leave a comment telling me that's out of sync, but I see it too. Okay, you don't have to do that. Let's go look at the VIX. I don't pay attention to the VIX. How much do you pay attention to the VIX? I'm curious. Put it in the chat. How much do you pay attention to the VIX? So this is the volatility index. Basically, in a nutshell, from what I understand, I could be wrong. This measures the put buying activity on the market. When put buying is off the charts like this, VIX will spike. When put buying is at super duper lows, the VIX will be low. Now, could I be wrong? Absolutely. Absolutely. Skinny Buff Guy says he's watching it. Pop Slap Pat says only if it's over 20. It's at 2085 today, Pop Slap Pat. You got to take a look at it, right? Ozzy Ian likes the VIX. Ozzy Ian knows what he's doing. Let me tell you, he is absolutely destroying the U.S. Investing Championship. Speaking of, let's go look at that real quick. Ozzy Ian. Let's go look. If you go to the U.S. Investing Championship and you search up Outlier, there are 12 outliers on here, including Don Taggart, Ian right there, Paul, Sheetal, Mark V, Gabor, Art, then me, then you've got Jim R, Rick, and Joe. So we have 2 of our Alpha students and 2 of our Bravo students competing in the U.S. Investing Championship. How cool is that? Give a thumbs up to those guys. They definitely deserve it. They definitely deserve it. I'm just a random guy on the internet. Don't worry about me. The rest of those guys, they deserve it.
Last year was 80, but we won't get to 80. And then, of course, retracing. That would be a clean sign because that's so much de-risking. Another sign would be we get another scary headline and gold continues to sell off, and then stocks actually turn green on the day because that means we've washed things out. I think we're
stocks turn green on the day. That's what we've seen multiple times. Definitely seen multiple times. Absolutely. I'm on board with that, Tom Lee. I can agree with you. I do see some bullish signs right here. But let's go take a look at market breadth. Market breadth inside the Outlier platform shows how many buy signals versus sell signals we have. We're still getting more and more and more sell signals. In fact, if we go to the dashboard over here, give me just a second here. Let's go to the watch list. Go to the watch list. We can see 49 new buy signals today versus 107 new sell signals today. There are 2540 sell signals on just stocks, not ETFs. And there are only 852 buy signals on just stocks. We cover over 9,000 stocks and ETFs. And so looking at the 9,000 right here, you can see we're getting still more and more and more sell signals. But could that mean that we're about to hit that bottom, right? Could this be the part where it's potentially oversold? A lot of people like that term. Maybe so. Maybe so. But it could also get a lot deeper, right? It got down to as low as 2% over here. This was back in April. What did the chart look like in April? If you remember, it was really ugly. It was really ugly. Here's April, right? Here's April. But it turned back up and started to go bullish on April 15th on tax day last year, which is exactly here, right? That's where we started to see that bullish crossover. And then what happened after that? Gangbusters. So don't rush the signals. Don't rush the signals. If they're going to come, if they're going to turn, let them happen in their own time. Don't rush into them. Also, I'm noticing we're seeing less and less uptrends, more and more downtrends. So breadth is not beautiful. Breadth is not beautiful. The market's resilient. Absolutely. The market is resilient, has not destroyed itself, but breadth is still struggling.
pretty close.
You watching oil as closely as everybody?
Great question from Charlemagne. What does oversold mean? That is one of those quote technical terms that people like to say in the stock market, that if something's overbought, it's due to pull back. If something's oversold, it's due to go up, right? And a lot of people want to base that on different indicators. And you could potentially do that here when it's getting this low at the bottom. Maybe that's an oversold point and maybe it's due to come back up. I don't know. You don't know, but Tom Lee knows. Let's go.
Else is, I thought it was interesting, some of the notes today. UBS says we expect only minimal or a brief disruption to global energy supplies. We therefore stick with our base case that U.S. equity.
Let's go look at energy. Let's go look at crude oil. So you want to look at crude oil futures, you go to CL1. And that's a daily chart, by the way. Acting like a meme coin over here. Holy manoli. Look at that. Move up. Now, this order block, tell me, excuse me. Tell me order blocks don't work. You got a double stacked order block right here around $76 up to 80. The first time it came into this, rejected. Second time, rejected, made a double stack. Third time, rejected. Fourth time, rejected. Fifth time, rejected. Is this the peak oil price? I don't know. But oil's definitely trending up right now. And so if you're in the energy sector, I know Rick right now, Rick, one of our outliers, I know he's very long energy and he's having a great week for sure.
Equities, will produce good gains this year. Katie Huberty over at Morgan Stanley. Recent geopolitical events unlikely to change our bullish view on equities over the next 6 to 12 months.
Yeah, I mean, I think oil, I think we saw things that kind of made sense to me. Oil spiking on closures or potential closures of the Strait of Hormuz, but the response from Washington. And I think that's maybe more important, that I don't think Washington wants high oil prices into the midterms. And of course, it's very unpopular with Americans. I mean, it's a big burden. So I'm going to be in the camp that I'm watching the price action. I think it's encouraging that oil's not surging into the close.
And part of the Huberty note focuses on the AI trade, which has been really interesting, I thought, over the last couple of days. Back, some might say, to the safe haven type price action. I mean, look at right now. Microsoft's up, Meta's up, Amazon's up.
Microsoft's up? No. Hang on. Yes, Microsoft is up very ever so slightly. We're still in the midst of a big, scary, nasty downtrend. All right. I was doing an example on our options deep dive Wednesday about how much money you could lose by selling options. Like, for example, let's say you sold the 450 strike and then it decided to go all the way down to 400. You could have had a $50 loss or $50 in the money, which is a $47 loss if you sold it for $3. Be sure you go watch that video. It'll make more sense. But yeah, this is a big, scary, nasty stage 4 downtrend. Is this the bottom? Potentially, but don't put your money at risk until the market confirms that it's ready to change direction. How do we confirm that? Answer in the chat. How do we confirm that? How do we confirm when the market has changed direction? It's actually really simple. It's actually super duper simple when you know what you're looking for. And now that you know what to look for, you're never not going to see it. You're never not going to see it, Justin and Jeff and Blackbird and Stacy. You're never not going to see the 10 over 20 price over 50. Yeah. It will always show you. Thank you, Martin. It will always show you the direction. Does not mean it'll show you duration nor magnitude, but it will show you the direction that it's moving right now. And there are times where it conflicts with itself and it crosses back, and this is your stage 3. So you've got your stage 1, 2, 3, and 4 right down here. And it absolutely can come up during a stage 4, just like it did over here, but that does not mean the trend has changed. And then it continued on down. All right, let's keep going. Great job, everybody. Really proud of y'all. To see moon phases. Yes, Rick. Yes, Rick. Exactly. Shut up, Rick.
Nvidia's traded better over the last couple of days. What do you make of that?
Well, in our view, March was the makings of a bottom because the software, the Mag 7, and the cryptos we thought were like 90% through to their winters or declines. They are outperforming, and I think that's a sign of leadership. But fundamentally, you're absolutely right. If we get global trade disruption, you still need AI and you still need the Mag 7. So I think they're actually good fundamental stories.
There's a technical side to this story too. Stay with me just a second, because certainly one of the key questions facing investors, what to do in the markets given the unrest in the Middle East and the uncertain road ahead. Our next guest, in fact, is watching the charts for some clues. BTIG's Jonathan Krinsky.
So earlier I skimmed through this, and we're going to have a couple of guests. We don't have to watch the entire thing, but I noticed his finance bro vest. What's the deal with finance bros and vests? I don't know. I was never the vest guy. I have a couple, but I never really picked up on the finance bro vest. Let's get forward to what Tom Lee has to say on this half of the video.
Everything said by both Krinsky and Jeremy Siegel, that this is all the hallmarks of creating some good opportunities. So I think investors do need to look beyond the headlines, maybe think 3 months, maybe even a month forward, and we just have to kind of watch.
And listen, there's nothing wrong with looking out, right? There's really nothing wrong in planning those trades. And in fact, I would encourage you to do so. Take the time, click down below, get access to my trading plan, get access to OVTLYR for just 82 cents a day. Start paying attention to what stocks you're interested in. Watch their trends. If their trends start to turn around, that is your focus to say, oh, you know what? I think something could happen here, but don't jump the gun, right? If you jump the gun on Microsoft right here, that really hurt, right? That was like a 10%. Hang on, it was even worse. Hang on. How far was that? If you jump the gun on Microsoft right here, that was a 17% sell off, right? Let's go look at a handful of names that you would think, oh man, it can only go up, right? Like Amazon. Don't get excited just yet. Don't get excited just yet. What about Elf Booty? Elf Booty. Don't get excited just yet. What about Meta? Meta had a huge gap in crap. Big, scary, ugly, nasty crap. But the 10 over 20 over price over 50 may start changing tomorrow. Okay. It may be that close to changing tomorrow. So do find a list of stocks that you're interested in. Start following the outlier buy and sell signals for them so you can be aware of what's going on, like Texas Roadhouse on here. In fact, no, I'd rather go to SoFi, the greatest stock in the history of mankind, right? It can never, ever, ever go down, right? 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 Anything under $20, you got to buy the mess out of it, right? By the way, SoFi went down. Geez, where's that sell signal at? Since December 9th, SoFi, that was December 9th right there, went down over 36%. I feel like the 82 cents a day of outlier would have made up for it. But let's say you are a SoFi bro. You love SoFi. Wait for that trend template to reverse. Wait to start seeing more greed coming through on the stock. Wait for when you see more greediness coming through in the sector. Wait for when the sector breadth starts going. And listen, the waiting sucks. The waiting's hard. The waiting is not sexy. The waiting is not fun. I get it. But you know it's a lot more not sexy and a lot more not fun? Losing 35% because you can't sit in cash and don't F up. Just saying. Brandon's ready. SoFi bros for life. SoFi for life. Outlier forever. I love it. He knows the deal. He knows the deal. Let's keep going.
Wash through this bottom, but we already know where the leadership could be coming from. It's the software, the Mag 7s, and even the cryptos.
Professor, does this, like Tom's suggesting, perhaps rekindle the mega cap trade in some respects for the idea that at times of turmoil within the markets, these have tended to be a bit defensive?
Yeah, well, I remember once we thought that Apple was the big defensive stocks. When there's times of potential recession or international disturbances, really no stock is totally immune.
No, all stocks are bad. And every once in a while they act right. What's been going on with Apple lately? What's been going on with Apple? Oh man, some big chop, huge, big chop, right? But let's take a look at it over here. You got your stage 1, 2, 3, the moving averages crossing over. And it may start a downward stage 4, but it also may not. I'm not going to predict anything. But what I do see is a lot of support. Look at these outlier blocks, right? Boom. First time it came down here, created a second one. Boom. Having some support. And now you're seeing it just bounce back and forth in this area. Apple is going to take a while to clear through both sides of these order blocks. Okay. So just be chill, sit in cash and don't F up. Once we get crashing through here, buy stocks as they're crashing up, not as they're crashing down. It'd be a great opportunity, but don't rush into it. Relax. Use this time to create your plan so that when you do see your setups, you're good to go.
We really need to get through this, I think, for the bull market in both segments of both the value stocks and the rotational stocks as well as the Mag 7. But, let me tell you, when you take a look at some of those Mag 7 stock like NVIDIA that selling in the low 20s, some even say lower in terms of price earnings ratio, that is an awful lot of discounting, let me tell you, for a company that has been growing 30-40% a year.
Yeah, you would agree, though, in the bigger picture, as we wind our conversation down, that energy, that complex, and oil prices are the most important thing to watch right now.
Again, I see the audio sync is off. Don't hate. I can't control that.
Not only from a sentiment standpoint, obviously for the economic fallout perspective, and then how it relates to the Fed as well, and what its road politics ahead is going to be.
Yeah, and as Tom mentioned, I mean, we are coming to the midterms, and we have had low oil and gas prices under Trump. Now, the wholesale price of gas, let me tell you, has gone up 50 cents over the last 3 days. Now, it takes about a week to work into the pump. I worked it out that if it does go up by 50 cents, we will be in the middle of what gas was during the Biden administration, but no more Trump discount that he was counting on early on. So it's not only a question about the Fed does and the economy. It really is going to be important for the political outlook.
Tom, you get the last word.
Yeah, well, I'd say I think investors just need to be kind of patient, cautious, and wary. Have a bit of fire.
I agree with this. Be cautious, be patient, be weary, and have your firepower ready to go.
Power, but I think opportunities are emerging.
All right, gentlemen, I appreciate.
There you go. Speaking of opportunities, roll, reduce, repeat says that the SoFi CEO bought a mil. Wait a minute. Wait. SoFi sucks like all stocks. SoFi might do something right soon. Don't hate, just wait. I love it. Don't hate, just wait. I have no ill will towards any stocks. They're all bad. Every once in a while, I act right. This is what I saw from the Blackbird. SoFi CEO bought 1 million shares yesterday. Now that right there, that news story is going to pop. That's going to get a lot of people excited about it. However, that doesn't necessarily mean that it's going right back up where it was. It's definitely not. And it could. Skinny Buff Guy was talking about the cheesecake pattern right there. What stock were we on? Was that on Apple? Yeah, there you go. The pineapple upside down triangle cheesecake pattern. That's the one I can identify every single time. Had Enough Too says, any update on the May convention get together in Florida? I believe, let me double check. So Tradier Summit, Florida 2026. Looks like this is November. It's supposed to be in May. The OIC conference, Florida. OIC conference. Yeah, I spelled it wrong. Who cares? Okay. May 5th to 7th. So what they're planning to do is have a Tradier conference tagged right on the back of that. So let's go on the calendar. So March, April, May. So they're saying probably that weekend, 8th, 9th, 10th, something around there. Now it's not set in stone just yet, obviously. Otherwise I would have been able to find it. But they did say that they asked me to be a speaker. That would be super fun. That'd be super fun. And we could make a huge outlier meetup when we get there. That would be super, super cool. Let's see. Yeah, Skinny Buff Guy is thinking 5th through 8th. Cinco de Mayo in Disneyland, everybody. Yeah, that'd be on the other side of the country, but by all means, by all means. Hang on, there was a comment on here. I wanted to take a look at Netflix for Dave. Dave, let's go take a look at Netflix together, my friend. Let's go look at Netflix. I need to add Netflix to my list. Hang on. All right, Netflix is now added. Let's sort by alphabetical. Okay. Netflix. Hey, look at that. Netflix is on the move. There you go. You know what? I think this is a great opportunity to take a look at what it looks like when a trend reverses, right? You've got a big, scary, nasty downtrend for a long time. And let's even go into Netflix. Oh, I spelled that wrong. That was on me. NFLX. Okay. Ooh, with a buy signal. Hang on now. All right, let's get excited about this one. So it had been sitting on a sell signal since October 23rd. And you can see just how hard and fast it fell for so long. It fell over 30%. A third of Netflix's company value evaporated after that point. And now, where did it go? Here. We just got a buy signal yesterday on Monday. So where was that at? Here. Just got a buy signal right there on that candle. Now, looking at this is actually really cool. Check this out. So had you bought the dip as it went down 33%, you would have lost a ton of money and a lot of sleep and probably a lot of hair too. And if you had taken the buy signal right here, by the time that this person gets to break even who bought the dip, you're going to be up already 16%. Now, granted, I don't know if that's going to happen or not. I don't know if it's going to go up there, but it definitely is looking in the right direction. Dude, Dave, thanks for pointing this out. Let's take a look at it real quick, right? You've got the market trend is not looking so hot. The market's sitting on a sell signal and market breadth is looking really weak. However, this sector, the communication sector, has bullish breadth, is getting more greedy, and the stock went from very fearful to already deep in the greed. This is exactly what you want to look for. And to go back to the point of Take your time, find stocks that you're interested in, and when they turn around, be locked and loaded, ready to go. Perfect example right here on Netflix. One bright spot in the sea of red. I don't look at MACD, so I don't even need to look at it. So what is MACD? MACD is moving average convergence divergence. All MACD measures is if these moving averages that you can see on the chart are crossed over one way or another and how much distance there is between them. There's no need to ever look at MACD. If you look at the moving averages, they are the same thing. So anyway, thank you guys so much for coming. This was actually a pretty cool, interesting episode today. This is what a market bottom looks like according to Tom Lee. And you know what? He might be onto something. And if you're onto something right now, you should look to save time, make money, and start winning with less risk by clicking one of these two videos. We'll talk soon.